81.Samyutta Nikaya 12.39, the second discourse on thought. The origin is in Sravasti. Because when there are thoughts, plans, and latent tendencies, this becomes the object for the establishment of consciousness. When there is an object, consciousness finds a support. When consciousness is established and grows, there is the arising of name and form. With name and form as condition, the six sense bases arise. With the six sense bases as condition, contact arises. With contact as condition, feeling arises. With feeling as condition, craving arises. With craving as condition, clinging arises. With clinging as condition, existence arises. With existence as condition, birth arises. With birth as condition, aging and death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, displeasure, and despair arise. Such is the origin of this whole mass of suffering. Because even if there are no thoughts and no plans, but if there are latent tendencies, this too becomes the object for the establishment of consciousness. When there is an object, consciousness finds a support. When consciousness is established and grows, there is the arising of name and form. With name and form as condition, the six sense bases arise, and so on. Such is the origin of this whole mass of suffering. However, because when there are neither thoughts, nor plans, nor latent tendencies, there is no object for the establishment of consciousness. When there is no object, consciousness has no support. When consciousness is not established and does not grow, there is no arising of name and form. With the cessation of name and form, there is cessation of the six sense bases, and so on. Such is the cessation of this whole mass of suffering. This is the ninth discourse. This sutra elaborates on 1. The relationship between consciousness and name and form. How thoughts, plans, and latent tendencies affect the establishment of consciousness. How the establishment of consciousness leads to the arising of name and form. How this further triggers the operation of the entire 12 links of dependent origination. The 12 links of dependent origination are explained in detail in Samyutta Nikaya 12.1 and 12.2, so they're not explained again here. 2. The process of the arising of suffering, starting from mental activities through the establishment of consciousness, triggering a series of dependent originations, including name and form, finally leading to the production of various types of suffering. 3. The path to the cessation of suffering requires the complete cessation of thoughts, plans, and latent tendencies, thereby making consciousness without support, further cutting off dependent originations such as name and form, finally achieving the cessation of suffering. This teaching reveals the complete causal chain from mental activities to actual suffering, while also pointing out the direction of liberation. It emphasizes the central role of mental activities in the entire life process and has important significance for understanding the root of suffering and the path to liberation. Let me provide a deeper analysis of this profound sutra. The mechanism of mental operation. 1. 3 levels of mental activity. Thoughts, surface level of conscious activity. Plans, purposeful mental designs. Latent tendencies, deep-rooted habitual inclinations. These 3 form the complete layers of mental activity, progressing from surface to deep levels. 2. The process of consciousness establishment. Formation of the object. Support for consciousness. Growth of consciousness. Arising of name and form. This reveals how consciousness gradually forms and influences our existence. 2. Exploring the root of suffering. 1. Causal chain. Thoughts/plans/latent tendencies, consciousness, name and form, 6 sense bases, contact, feeling, craving, clinging, existence, birth, aging, and death. 2. Keynotes. The establishment of consciousness is a crucial turning point. The arising of name and form is the beginning of materialization. The 6 sense bases are the foundation for contact with the external world. Feeling is the source of pleasant and unpleasant sensations. 3. The wisdom of liberation. 1. Fundamental method. ceasing the three levels of mental activity, cutting off the support for consciousness, preventing the arising of name and form, ultimately achieving the cessation of suffering. 2. Key points of practice: observing mental activities, recognizing latent tendencies, cultivating non-attachment, maintaining clear awareness. 4. Implications for modern life. 1. Mental health, understanding the root of emotions, recognizing thought patterns, resolving inner conflicts, cultivating inner peace. 2. Life wisdom, reducing unnecessary attachments, developing awareness skills, maintaining inner clarity, enjoying present peace. Deep reflections. 1. The nature of existence. Do we truly understand our own consciousness? How do latent tendencies affect our lives? Is the root of suffering in our attachments? 2. The possibility of liberation. How can we become aware of our mental activities? Is it truly possible to let go of attachments? Is liberation really possible? 6. Practical guidance. 1. Daily practice. Maintaining awareness. Observing thoughts. Letting go of attachments. Staying clear-minded. 2. Life application. Reducing attachment to plans. Cultivating present moment awareness. Maintaining mental freedom. Enjoying life as it is. 7. The awakening of wisdom. This sutra enlightens us that suffering is not accidental, but has its roots. Liberation is not illusory, but has its methods. Awakening is not distant, but begins from the present moment. Through understanding and practicing these teachings, we can know ourselves more clearly, face life more wisely, live in the present more freely, gradually move towards true liberation. Conclusion. This sutra is not only the crystallization of the Buddha's wisdom, but also a guiding light leading us towards liberation. Through deep understanding and practice of it, we can recognize the root of suffering, understand the method of liberation, open the eye of wisdom, attain true freedom. This is why this sutra continues to shine with the light of wisdom after thousands of years, guiding those who seek the truth.